A Quarter Mile Passed Forever, a short story by L.D. Roberts. This story contains dark themes and is intended for mature audiences. Additional voices were provided by Sam Nettles and Sarah Deibler. A chilly night, almost midnight. Heavy clouds conspire to imprison the cold. The vibration of a diesel truck thundering down a distant road breaks the silence. A hint of ozone threatens rain. A battered Jeep, a Dodge Ram pickup, and a Honda Accord sit at the curb, engines purring. Good taste dictated Sarah remain until the end of the meeting. She holds her purse across her chest and hurries out of the office building. She's been rushing since dawn, racing through airports, no time to eat or anything else. Her phone is down to 3%. She forgot her charger. Her head aches from the 6-hour meeting, dehydration, and gnawing hunger. Stuart, her boss, races up behind her. "I'm sorry, Sarah. Next year, I promise." His eyes are filled with faux concern. Last night, he told her she would be promoted to vice president. She rushed to attend today's meeting in Wichita and sat in stunned disbelief as he appointed Stephen Johnson. He waits, eyebrows raised. Any guilt he may feel is well deserved. She is in no mood to grant him absolution. Reaching the curb, doors begin to fly open. Her colleagues climb into seats, and one by one, the vehicles drive away. Her colleague, June, walks up behind her.
"Did you order a rideshare?"
"I did. I haven't gotten a notification. My hotel is a quarter mile up the road. Would you mind staying with me till my ride shows up?"
"I can't wait. I have to get to the airport to catch a plane home."
"Go on then." She is painfully aware June works locally. Her phone pings. Finally, it's the rideshare confirmation. Estimated pickup time, 3 minutes, 12:01 a.m. Destination, Holiday Inn, 10625 Temple Avenue, Wichita, Kansas. Distance, a quarter of a mile. Vehicle, white 2025 SUV, license number FCX 212. Driver, Frank Martin. She begins to rummage through her purse for a $20 bill when a skeletal man appears, barefoot, dressed only in a filthy pair of shorts. His rummy, frantic eyes dart in all directions. He sways as if he will topple in the slight wind.
Give me $10. Now!
His mouth is a cavern of missing teeth, his stench nauseating. She crumples the 20 into her palm. "No!" All day she has smiled and said yes, smiling till her cheeks ache, choking down rage and pride.
Hey, bitch, you know you got it.
A huge SUV slithers to the curb. The door behind the driver slides open. Glancing at her phone, the vehicle and license number match her confirmation. The driver is built like a tank. The back of his bronze neck is tattooed with FF for the band Foo Fighters. The bottom of the Fs disappear into the thick folds of his massive neck. "Frank?" "I'm Sarah." He nods and reaches over the dashboard to tap on his phone. His huge fingers mash the wrong letters, and he tries again. Satisfied, he slides the phone into the holder. The colored map begins swirling. Her eyes close in weariness. She's just about to doze off when she is startled by a loud voice leaping out of an invisible speaker next to her ear.
Tonight's crime reenactment is the case of housewife Janice Milton. Her murder took place in her home on Thursday night, March 16, 1964, at approximately 9:30 p.m.
Yes, who is it?
Sarah envisions a young Janice Milton wiping her hands on her apron, approaching the front door.
Janice?
Yes?
I'm Daryl, a friend of your husband's. Is he home?
No, he's at the Lions Club meeting till 10, but I will tell him you stopped by.
I sure could use a cup of coffee.
It's late. Please call my husband tomorrow.
You wouldn't want to disappoint a friend of your husband's, would you?
She hesitates. Her husband never mentioned Daryl. He is up for a promotion, and he doesn't talk much about work.
I guess not.
Great. Thanks so much. Nice place.
So, how long have you known?
She stiffens, turns to see a tall, spindly man with a pockmarked face and ragged eyes. His slap sounds like the crack of a home run off a wooden bat. Back in the SUV, Sarah flinches to escape the invisible blow. The driver slams on the brake pedal, halting the SUV barely an inch short of a wooden barrier covered in orange reflective circles. Sarah is thrown forward, then back. She gasps as her chest begins to ache from the restraint of her seatbelt.
Ah, damn it.
Sarah stares out the window. Dark, silent forest stretches for miles.
Oh, can't get out of the business park this way. Sorry.
He looks behind him, changes gear, swings the SUV around. His arm is filled with tattoos of open-fanged pythons dripping dark red venom.
No worries, I'll get you there.
The softness in his tone calms her. He taps buttons. The navigation app recalculates. The podcast returns. Janice is crying. Loud, gulping sobs. Sarah would sell her soul for a second of silence, but she is too exhausted to speak.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Morgan Street.
Please, I'll do whatever you want. Just don't kill me.
I don't care what you want.
In 300 feet, turn right onto Temple.
Sarah is relieved to watch cars idling at red lights and drunks stumbling out of bars. Soon, she whispers to herself. Soon, she will fall into a comfortable bed, turn on a stupid movie, put the day behind her. Driver races past the huge neon sign for the Holiday Inn. My hotel is back there.
I know.
What are you doing? She feels her heart pound.
Holiday Inn won't let rideshare drivers use the front driveway. They make us use the back entrance. You'll have to walk only a few feet to reach the front lobby.
The driver turns into an alley lit by a single flickering bulb over a steel door marked H in. Huge metal trash cans flank each side of the door, overflowing with rags, food scraps, and coffee grounds. It smells like a dead dog was left in the sun for a week. The night has become muted and silent.
Your destination is on the right.
The driver snaps off the ignition. Is he going to get out to help her with the luggage? Then she remembers. He can't. Her luggage is somewhere in some unknown city. Thank you for accepting such a short ride. She unlatches the seatbelt and reaches through the empty space between the seats to hand him the $20. Instantly, huge meaty fingers encircle her left wrist. For a second, she thinks he is trying to reach for the tip. In a swift, practiced movement, he snaps a handcuff around her wrist. Her mind cannot grasp what is happening. He yanks her forward so hard her shoulder pops. Her knees scrape against the carpet. He fastens the second cuff to the metal pole on the headrest of the passenger seat. It snaps with the finality of a cell door. Her shoulder is numb. Her heels are smashed into the seat behind her. Her calves constrict into dense knots. Sweat pours from her forehead. making her hair sticky and lank. It drips into her eyes and burns.
Your destination is on the right.
The assailant has bound Janice by ropes to the kitchen chair.
There is a harsh scraping as Janice pushes the chair away from her killer.
Don't hurt me.
In the dim light, the driver's reptilian brown eyes flicker over Sarah's body, lingering over her long brown hair, her slight frame. His full lips curl into an excited smile. He smells musky, feral. In the chair, Janice, bound, continues to thrash.
Be a good girl. Relax. Don't struggle.
Smashing her feet against the floor. The chair rocks as she throws herself from side to side. She's choking and gasping. Then her breath settles into a low hiss. Then nothing. In the SUV, the driver pushes a button, locking all the doors simultaneously, like a well-rehearsed dance. Sarah's purse has fallen behind the passenger seat. Her right hand begins inching open the 6-inch zipper on her purse. Leaning back, a jolt of pain pierces her left shoulder. A white-hot fury obliterates her pain, forcing her to a place beyond fear, and her heart rate slows. Her muscles soften. She rests in this unknown place of solace, gathering strength. She begins inching her fingers into the purse pocket. She wraps her fingers around the grip of her loaded Smith & Wesson .380. The driver turns the key. The SUV starts with a soft purr. She eases her pistol out, steadies it underneath her cuffed arm, points it at the driver's torso, squeezes the trigger, and nothing. A slow buzz of panic consumes her. The pistol is a dead weight, cramping her right hand. The driver pulls away from the curb.
Recalculating. 1603 Morgan Castle Drive, Garnett, Kansas. 189 miles. Estimated time to destination, 2 hours, 36 minutes.
Sarah realizes he is taking her to a secluded place in the middle of nowhere. Her choices are dwindling. Think. Her fingers spasm, and she realizes her right-hand grip is too weak to depress the safety. She eases open her middle finger, then her ring finger. Achingly slow, she unwraps her pinky. Her pistol slides down, nestling firmly in the web between her fingers and thumb. She grips the safety so hard her forearms begin to burn. Sensing movement, the driver turns, seeing the dim outline of her pistol. He raises his massive fist to strike her. She pulls the trigger again and again. He slumps forward. His foot slips off the accelerator. The SUV slows, scraping against the brick wall, then stops, the engine still running. The sound of the gunshots are still exploding inside her skull. Warm shell casings snap around her, hissing like startled cats. Disbelief creeps over his face. Violence is his way of life, and he knew it would always be his downfall. Still, he is outraged, struggling to understand how a pocket-sized brunette is the cause of his death. His immense body crumbles against the door. Blood flows from his wound. Is he praying? His last inhale rattles like marbles swirling in a tin can. Then nothing but eerie silence.
Tonight's next reenactment is the murder of 14-year-old Mary Jo Hamilton, the first victim of serial killer Peter Stewart.
She strains against the passenger seat, stretching her fingers until she reaches the edge of her phone. 1% charge left.
911, what is your emergency?
I'm in the alley behind the Holiday Inn on Temple.
I'll connect you to roadside assistance.
No. I need police. I'm handcuffed. He's bleeding. I shot. Hearing the word shot, the 911 operator begins pressing commands. She looks at her phone. The screen has gone black.
Mary Jo Hamilton was 14 years old, walking home from choir practice, when she was grabbed from behind by a stranger.
What kind of person makes these podcasts? Listening to it is fracturing her mind into pieces. With no other choice, she grabs her pistol. She fires her last 2 shots into the computer screen. The podcaster's voice gurgles away. The odor of cordite and blood mingle together, forcing her stomach into a clenched knot. Darkness swallows her. She takes a long breath, chokes on tiny sprinkles of ash. Resting her cheek against the headrest, she hears sirens. Hopefully, they're heading towards her. I would like to thank Sam Nettles for providing voices. I'd like to thank Sandy Esposito and Joy Esposito for all their support for my writing. I'd like to thank Sarah and Rachel Deibler for superbly editing and engineering these podcasts. If you enjoyed listening to my story, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment so my team and I can continue to record these stories for your enjoyment.